I mean, we've changed the format before. Remember when we did all our segments at once? Remember when we had guests?
Remember guests? Remember those? Those were the days.
That's funny. All right, do y'all want to build a sense of like, hey, maybe like hour to hour and a half? Is that okay?
I was saying to Polly earlier, we're definitely not doing 3 hours.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not gonna be here for 3 hours. If y'all want to sit here for 3 hours, like I'll put the headphones down, and I'm more than happy to walk away and let y'all do your thing. I did that for the Majora's Mask episode.
Oh God, that was a long time ago.
That was like our 5th episode or something.
We can't hold past John's crimes against presence.
Is that really a crime though? I mean, everybody involved seemed to enjoy the episode.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't actually hate it.
I just went off and like I played some video game for 3 hours while you guys, and I came back and was just like, hey, are you guys still talking? No, you're done? Okay. Or I think I had Rhett or somebody text me and let me know y'all were done.
I kind of remember that, yeah.
Because I just kept the janky ass Skype recorder that we used for the first 6 years. That worked half the time. And then when it stopped working, it was just like, oh good, like we can't do it. Like I think it stopped working like right when we were jumping in.
I do remember that.
We were like getting ready to do like the Undertale podcast, I think. And like this shit just doesn't record anymore.
Old times.
Those were the best of times, and it was the oldest of times when you consider that it was like 8 years. Oh my God, in April the site is going to be like 23 years old.
Again, years past 2020 don't count.
Yeah, it's going to be like, what is it? Let's see, we started in 2000.
So it'll only be 20 years old, Red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 18 years old. Yeah.
What anniversary did Chrono Trigger just have an anniversary?
30, I think. No, 29.
It was 28 because it was 1 year younger than me.
Right.
Okay, because I'm like, I was kind of confused and I couldn't find any posts to go back because I'm like, it's not 30 because 30 would mean it came out in 93.
Yeah.
And it definitely didn't. That was a late SNES game.
Yeah, it was 95 because I very specifically remember the title screen of that one being 95 and then 94 being, then Final Fantasy 3 was a year earlier because that was just like a 1-2 punch that I very specifically remember.
I was like, 30 years ago was March 93. That can't be the anniversary. It wasn't like it came out in Japan a year and a half first or something.
No, no, that was actually a pretty decent turnaround time.
Yeah, jeez. Thanks, Ted.
Ted Woolsey, unsung hero.
Oh, but he did fuck up that one line that made it seem like there was a side quest to save Charlotte.
Oh, okay, yeah, that kept it like, man, I was searching, like one of the first things I ever searched on the internet was that specific line, and it was just like,
oops.
It was just people talking about that line and trying to find a quest, and then like, and
fucking wild.
And at the time, like,
great.
At the time, I think that Final Fantasy VII had just come out on PC, and we were installing it on all the computers.
Oh my God.
And it like ran at 4 frames a second, but everybody was like, they added the quest to save Eris in this version.
Ted Woolsey Ted Woolsey slits Shala's throat for a nickel, says Pancho in the chat. That's pretty funny.
That era of like early internet rumors was wild. I remember
that's
like
so good.
Here's how to save General Leo in Final Fantasy 3.
Oh,
like
God.
that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Here's how to get Mew. And then there was a bunch of those, and then one of them was actually true.
Yeah.
It was one of the weirdest ones, and it was true.
Wait, which one?
There's one for catching Mew where you like trigger a trainer fight right on the edge of the screen and then fly away before they come to you and then go talk to this one specific trainer, and that triggers this fight.
Yeah, because Pokemon the original was glitchy as fuck.
Yep.
I mean, like, it's not still, like, I still see, like, speed runs of those games.
You're right. The newest one is also glitchy as fuck.
Well, that's also maybe due to a very, very, very fast turnaround time that may have hampered the quality of the final product by a smidge.
They should just put missing number in the new one for reference.
Just do it. Like, they are such cowards that they have not leaned into shit like that. God, like turn of the
totally done that in the Gen 1 remake too.
Oh God,
They
yeah.
did remake that. They could have put them. That would have been the time to do it.
They remaked it like at least twice because there's the GBA one and then Pokemon Let's Go
and then
Pikachu.
The Switch
also
one,
a remake of Gen 1.
Yep.
They've had so many opportunities, and they're just like, no fucking creativity, which is exactly what I expect of the Pokemon team.
That would be so wild if they intentionally put in one of the glitches on purpose. The internet would lose its mind.
Yeah.
The only problem is people would find it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool if it was like something people didn't find for like a month.
No, like, what would happen is just like, since like companies can't and developers can't keep their
advertise it.
Yeah, it would just be in. It would be the first thing they say in Famitsu.
We recreated the authentic.
Exactly. Like it's like like when they redid, what was it, the Majora's Mask 3DS, and they tried to keep as much of the glitches in it as possible, and it's just like, guys, let people just find it. And they were like, we've gone to great lengths to preserve all of these things. Like, but it's more fun when you let people do that.
I will say, like, I remember Sword and Shield specifically was the one where it felt like just a year of like, here's another gym leader, here's another Pokemon, here's the final evolution.
Oh my God.
Just like dropping, drip feeding it for a full year. And I'm like, what is left of the video game, y'all?
Yeah, like
what have you done?
Like they did the whole Smash thing with it, and it was just, why? Like, there's nothing for me to, there's no mystery here at all. And I think it's largely due to people that, like, it's the same way, like, you can't make fighting games and have, like, secret characters anymore because there's, like, competitive scenes around them. So everybody has to know everything day one because it's got to be, you got to be ready for competition. So you can't, like, have fun in fighting games anymore with, like, secret characters or unlockable characters that you don't know are going to be in the game. So we've got to show literally everything so there's no surprise whatsoever.
Yeah. I do remember Sword and Shield was ridiculous with like, and here's the exclusive gym leaders you'll face in each version. Like, buying the game based on that was wild.
Wait, that was a thing? There were exclusive?
Bia is not in one of them.
What?
I don't think she's in Shield, so that's why I got Sword.
Why would they do that? Like, fine.
Because
oh my God.
They sell two versions, and they were like, what the fuck do we do to differentiate them?
Oh my God. I fucking hate Pokemon, dude.
How did we start talking about
Hey, Polly,
Pokemon?
don't worry. Bea has like 6 lines of dialogue and no personality.
That's the thing.
That's true of all of them.
Like,
don't worry.
She's got such a cool design. It's just like, you could write a fun character with that, and they did nothing with it.
It's Pokemon. They don't write fun characters. They don't even write characters.
That's just
that one. The story in that one was so aggressively like nothing.
Wow.
That's funny.
Because I know that Pokemon games have had stories before. I've heard John cry about it on my podcast before.
I think it's the same thing as Mario, where they're like, we have to stamp out as much story
stamp
as
out
possible.
as much story, like Miyamoto standing over somebody's shoulder the instant they try to write the instant somebody inserts a text box into the video game, he's counting how many characters are in that text box, and if he goes over a certain number, pulls out a hatchet and just decapitates him right on the spot, and then eats the guy's head in front of everybody else so that they know, don't you go insert any more fucking text boxes.
Unless they're to tell you like mundane control details.
Oh God!
You can have as many of those as you want.
Oh God!
Super Mario Odyssey reminded you of the controls every 30 seconds.
Every single time you change caps in that game. From what I have seen, I've played the game a grand total of 30 seconds myself. So
every time you're wearing one of the characters' hats, and then you stop for like 30 seconds, for like not even 30 seconds, for like 2 seconds.
Did you forget how to play the game? Wait, you're not moving. Did you forget?
A little thing will fade on, like, press A to jump, and then shake the controller to do a big jump or whatever.
Oh my God.
And then, for as much controller stuff as they tell you in that game, also when you do the loading screens between worlds, like Cappy will also tell you the advanced controls.
Yeah.
For all that, they never actually tell you until, like, the moon, the last level, how to, like, cancel to do a dive in the air. They don't tell you
That's
the one most important one to do the really crazy speedrunning tricks.
The really good, do the dive roll, throw your hat, bounce off of it shit. Why would you hold that?
They teach you everything but that.
It's the Mario World cape. You don't need to know how to play the game to play the game.
The new Kirby game apparently has parry mechanics that they do not teach you at all. So it becomes a cool Dark Souls Devil May Cry game if you want to play it like that, but apparently they never teach you that.
Oh, I have to look that up later.
That's wild.
I remember Tom talking about it, saying wait a minute, there's this feels a lot more like a character action game because there's a parry that they never told me about.
What the hell?
I have that game. If there's a parry, I'll check that. Yeah, sure.
The 3D one?
Yeah. The Nightmare in Buttville or something it's called.
I don't know. There's a lot of Kirby games. I have completely lost track of them at this point.
I remember thinking for a while that Kirby games were a little bit of a special thing, but now it's just there's 100 of them, and I think maybe only 3 of them are good.
My real the latest oh god old moment for me is I think on the Switch the newest Kirby game is a remake of
Return to Dreamland.
Yeah, a Wii game that I also haven't played.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So it's just oh Jesus, they're remastering games that are fair to me in my head as recent.
Just came out.
Okay. Tengu says that they do not tell you at all that you can counter after dodging. So it's a cool East mechanic that they don't tell you about.
I mean, to be fair, I went through all of E7 not knowing that there was a parry mechanic.
But that's okay because E7's parry mechanic is just it's really kind of a pain in the ass to use because don't you have to hold a block button and then time another button press with it?
Oh wait, I might not actually know about this.
Because I think it's I think you've got to hold the block button and then press another button right as an attack's coming in to actually parry, and even then you only get 2 seconds of critical hits to counter with. It's not cool like flash dodge and flash move.
Yeah, I
shit.
remember 8 and 9 being awesome.
Yeah, that shit feels awesome. Got East 10? East 10 on the horizon? Hello?
I'm a little sad it's not a sequel.
I am too. Yeah, it's definitely
a sequel to East 9?
It's
I mean, it's a sequel to East 9, but it's in the timeline it's earlier.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's right. Isn't it right after East 1 and 2?
It's something weird before 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's before Felghana, so yeah, and Adol looks a whole lot. He looks younger than he did in the older games. Weirdly enough,
Hey, baby again.
He looks like Will Baby.
Little baby Adol.
Us
again.
Crimson King stands over here that want to get absolutely railed by that man. We're crying in the club right now.
East 9 was Adol the man. Returning Adol the boy.
The man, you ain't wrong. Woo! The man gives me shit. That is such a fucking sexy character design, people. Look, when you have a character design for a dude that is hot, that even Rhett, the straightest fucking arrow I know, is yeah, okay, he's fucking hot. When your character design for a guy is that hot that you've got straight arrow Rhett over here just being yeah, okay, you got me considering. You got me considering. Yeah.
They said we can't unleash that power again.
We can't. We can't put that. We can't put that evil on him anymore. We've gone too far.
If we age him up 6 months, he's going to be even hotter.
Oh no!
We have to stop.
We have to stop. We can't do this. We can't do this. It's not a matter of doing it to the fans. It's a matter of doing it to ourselves. You're not going to get any work done with literally everybody stopping to masturbate every 30 seconds.
Every service of the Falcom office is covered in cum. We cannot deal with this.
It's over, people.
Every seat is soaked.
We have to buy new office chairs every week, dude. There is not... Dude, the amount of lotion with aloe we have to buy because everybody's rubbed so raw.
We're all in so much pain.
We are investing in flashlights for the staff so that it will be a much gentler solution for their constant masturbation problem. We are commissioning a koikatsu model of Adol to help inspire the team.
And they have the nerve to say that younger Adol is more relatable to audiences.
Really? I don't know.
That's what
about
if
that.
he said Kondo said. I don't know, but
Kondo, I think you got this one wrong, because there is not a single person that I know that has either seen Crimson King Adol or who's played that game and hasn't said, "Fuck, I want that all the way down my throat." There's not a single person that I've met that's not said that. So that, yeah. Hey, hi everybody.
To the new Sockscast.
Welcome. The Sockscast is back. Could you tell? Did you miss us? Welcome to episode 164, the first of the year after our long break. We're a lot less structured these days, I think you're going to find. We've kind of thrown...
unstructured and unhinged.
Unstructured and unhinged. Welcome to our motherfucking unhinged era. This is the show now. We've decided to throw the show's format out the window because I was fucking bored as hell of it. So, and we're still gonna talk about things, sure, but we're not gonna go quite as long. We're gonna be a little more loosey goosey about things. I think you'll hope. Our ideal here is to like less monologuing and more just kind of like.
And more cum jokes.
Cum jokes, yeah. Like I mean, because if there's anything that the Sockscast was missing before, it was dick jokes and cum jokes, and
I mean, we got to keep the standards here.
I want us to get to a point where we have been Sockscasting for 6 more years, and one of us is just like, I am so done with cum jokes. It's just cum jokes day in and day out. We need to shake up the formula here, people.
Nate, shake the dew off that lily a little bit.
That was such such good words to use.
Yeah, right. You
you
get the full image there. Just shake the dew off that lily. Yeah, yep. There you go. Wait. Does Taylor not? Oh wait, no. Like, is she evil? No. Crimson King Adol is a boy and very hot. Taylor. So. Mm-hmm. He's not evil, but like you can really imagine he is. Just get a look at him. He's just like, you know what? He could be good or evil. I don't give a shit.
He can be evil in all the right ways.
All the right ways, absolutely. Yeah.
All the ways you need.
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of rebels, like against the government.
Exactly,
in that game.
And that's just
like
hot.
They were definitely.
You're being a rebel. You're being a rebel against a prison system. That's hot as fuck. What about like this man?
Evil Adol. Yes,
this man is perfect. They've literally made the perfect anime character. But for me, it's like Crimson King Adol and Nahabino, kind of like on a bit of a spectrum here for me, because like, you know, like I look at Nahabino from Shin Megami Tensei 5, and he's like soft boy, right? Like soft boy, long flowing hair, gorgeous locks, you know, the kind that you want to like wink and blow you a kiss. And you're just like, oh, I am immediately smitten. And
which boy was this again?
Nahabino from Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Is that the main boy?
Yeah, the SMT5 protagonist.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
I know him.
He looks like a Muv-Luv boy.
I don't care what he looks like. He looks
the kind of boy where you type Shin Megami Tensei 5 main character and the first autocomplete suggestion is gender? Question mark?
Yeah.
Yes.
That character design definitely has a case of the genders. It's Adol East 9 specifically, Taylor. Crimson King Adol. That's specifically what you're looking for.
Brutal King Adol.
Yeah.
I will say, Alice Hoff makes an RPG about rebelling against a big prison state, and then Ease turns around and does the same thing. Interesting.
Big thinky dinky.
Interesting.
Quaint, almost. You guys want to? So something funny happened this morning, and this is one that you at home you can play along with. I was talking to somebody this morning.
Play along at home.
You can play along at home, and you.
I get that reference, John.
Curse. Continue, Polly.
Okay. I want everybody to get your browsers open. I want you to go to google.com first.
Okay.
So while I set this up, so me and a friend were talking about anime this morning, and the idea came up, like, there was this isekai about a boy that goes to another world, and he says, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna fight. I'm just gonna be a cook," and that sent us down a rabbit hole. So I was like, okay, well, like, there's anime that's specifically focused on eating and food, right? And so
a whole lot.
So he goes to his Google machine and he types in, and I want you to do this at home too, because I'm gonna know when you see it. I'm gonna know.
On private browser mode. I want the raw.
You want the rawest You want the rawest Google experience you can get here. I want you to Google food anime.
Food anime.
And I'll just wait.
Okay.
So
I got Blame as my number 3, which is interesting.
I'll wait.
Oh boy, look at those image results though.
I'll wait.
So wait, am I scrolling down the results?
You're looking for what to watch at the top.
I mean, I see Flowers of Youth, Blade Runner, Blackout, Blame,
Dead Leaves,
One Piece, Dead Leaves, Crayon Shin-chan, and Grave of the Fireflies.
Grave of the Fireflies has to be it, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Why? Why?
So we had to dig a little, but it turns out that there was a list somebody made of a bunch of anime that is about the best anime about food, and it was just like, but with all these shows about food we're doing, we got to include one that's literally about misery and starvation, just so you appreciate food more.
We chose to add Grave of the Fireflies to this list to remind us about the importance of food by highlighting the sheer lack of it. If this show does not make you genuinely savor and appreciate each bite that's on your palate, few things will. This sandwich goes down so smooth when I'm thinking about starving children and the orphaned by war. That's so good.
Just love imagining biting into the juiciest hamburger you could, but tears are streaming down your eyes as you remember poor starving children. Jesus.
Probably eating your Wagyu steak.
This was me eating Wagyu steak, okay?
That goes down so smooth.
Oh, I was actually almost crying eating that because it was like a literal religious experience. So.
I was looking at pictures of that steak and the marbling, and I was just like,
12 whole ounces, all mine. 12 whole ounces.
God, Polly.
Dude, it's just like, I was just like, take that shit back there. Just like, how do you want it prepared? I'm just like, you take that shit back there, you show it a picture of fire and scare it a little bit, and then we're done. Because that is not a steak that you eat with any kind of, like, no, you don't cook that shit. You grab that shit off the plate and eat it raw. But do it elegantly and very slowly and savor every bite, because it is a $130 steak.
God, I want it. Oh, I want it.
You
Polly.
do, dude. It's life-changing. It is a religious experience.
I found out that there is a Brazilian steakhouse here, so I can get that. Mm-hmm. And that's not Wagyu. That's just like the place where you can go and they just circle around with meat skewers and be like, "Hey, want some of this?" And you'd be like, "Yes." And they just do that until you cannot eat any more meat.
Yes, just stuff me full of meat, Crimson King Adol. Wait.
Oh my God! There's a place I could walk to places where I buy Wagyu steak.
Dude, yeah, dude, it is so overindulgent. It is so peak of me throwing money out of a fucking window, throwing money in a fireplace, but it's also just like, I have had such a crummy 2023. That I deserve some kind of indulgence here. Let me have
it's still
it.
Less than I paid for a volume of Empty Box in the Zero with Maria. That's still in my head as like my ultimate stupid indulgence was like, I'm going to buy all of these out of print light novels, even if however much it costs.
Wow.
So Wagyu steak, it's a better choice.
Yeah. Even though it's temporary and it's got, dude, I woke up today and was just like, I miss it. I miss it. Like, you eat anything. I'm ruined for food for at least a week. Like, I am literally just eating to survive at this point. Like, I am just putting whatever junk I find in my refrigerator, like if it's good or not, and just like I'm just shoving it down the hole because this is a mechanical process now. I've already seen the pearly gates of heaven, and they are so buttery. So creamy, they melt in your mouth. Oh my god, I can feel myself literally sitting here salivating now, tasting it. I can still taste it on my tongue.
Wagyu steak anime.
Reincarnated as a Wagyu steak.
Reincarnated as a Wagyu steak.
I just want to know if there's some point where
I was reincarnated as a Wagyu steak. It's a Vor show where you're reincarnated as a Wagyu steak that gets eaten by royalty. You know, like some pretty princess gets to eat you, and that's like, it's a one-shot OVA. John, we could write a visual novel about this.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I keep looking at pictures of Wagyu steak now.
Dude, it's so... Oh, my God.
I didn't know this was a thing, Polly.
Dude,
I'm looking at...
It is...
freaking marbling.
It is... Dude.
Rick, can you relate to this?
No, he can't. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what the vegetarian equivalent of a Wagyu steak would be.
There isn't one, Polly. There is no
heaven on earth
that is equivalent to... That can be equivalent.
Oh, Lord, it's so good. It's so amazing.
I'm glad you got to experience that.
I am too.
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. So we are like, we're just about 24 hours from when I was placing the order. Oh yeah, I looked at I was literally looking at, like, I know the timeline of everything. I got there at 6:24. Placed my order. Placed my order at like 6:37. It got to me at like the whole meal had been prepared and finished was got to me by like 7:02.
Oh my God, this is very, very specific.
Dude, it was a religious experience, okay?
Mm-hmm.
God, yes. God, it's been so long since I've had like a really good meal.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's not true. I had a bunch of really, really good home cooked meals. Let me specify.
Third impact is just Polly eating Wagyu steak. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
It's been so long since I've had like a really, really fancy, expensive restaurant meal. Those are really nice.
Oh God! You had some really good truffles, or you would like some really good truffles.
Yeah, somebody pitched that as like maybe truffles could be.
That's a pretty good. That's a good indulgence. Truffles are
good. That's a good pick. I would really like to get some real good truffles.
Yeah, I have not had really good truffles.
I get so many friends.
Wow! Look at all these friends that are coming.
Thanks,
hi, it's a podcast, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping by. We're trying out a new format here where we don't have a format. So we've not talked about anything but wanting to fuck Adol Kristen, Wagyu beef, and
Adol Christian's Wagyu beef.
And Adol Christian's Wagyu beef.
Which is also 12 ounces. It's kind of weird.
Oh my God.
I could have got the 16 ouncer for like the steak would have been 170.
Oh.
So I thought about it. I thought about it. Like the final meal total would have been 210.
Oh God.
Yeah, I got off at 174.16. I think was the final price.
The marbling isn't fat though. I don't know what that. Taylor's the meat expert.
Taylor, Poncho, like they are the resident like cookie kind of people.
And the marbling isn't fat in Adol's 12 ounces.
In Adol's 12 ounces.
It's something about steak.
There's Mari hanging out. How's it going, Mari? We're podcasting. We're talking.
So you went to heaven yesterday at around, 4 p.m.
At around 7:02 p.m. when that glorious Wagyu steak arrived on my plate in front of me. It was just like...
So I'm saying...
John,
at the same time, I was. At the same time, I was going to hell.
Oh no! Like, so while I was living my absolute best life in pure Wagyu bliss,
I finished Umineko question, the Umineko question arcs. And I was like, laying back, laying back in the couch, just feeling like the life had the life had been sucked out of me.
That's kind of what happens after episodes 3 and 4. You just kind of like you do that Napstabluke thing where I just need to lay in the middle of the floor.
So you like it?
Yeah.
So
let's go, John. What did you think?
So I realized at the end of that day that I had been playing video games all day, and then I was still exhausted, and then I was exhausted.
Oh.
I realized that for the entire 2 weeks I've been playing Umineko, it has never been a thing that restores energy.
No, Umineko is especially when you get to the end of the question arcs, it is, oh my god, it's so draining.
Usually, playing a video game, even reading a book, reading Lord of the Rings, even, which is an old book, lots of heavy prose and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It would be like, this is my thing that lets me decompress after work. I like experiencing a story. But you know what? You know what Lord of the Rings is? It's a fucking honest story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's just a guy. He's a little guy. He goes to some elves. They tell him, take this ring, go 2,000 miles that way, and drop it in a volcano. And then you read 2 books about him going 2,000 miles that way and dropping in the ring in a volcano. That's all you need. You don't need mysteries. You don't need murder mysteries. You don't need unreliable narrators. You don't need to get gaslit by a story for 20 hours. You're just a guy walking 2,000 miles. Oh, it's real hard. He's trying real hard. This little guy's fighting his best.
John,
you haven't been gaslit for 20 hours. You've been gaslit for 60 hours.
John, let's be honest here. Umineko has been gaslighting you for almost 100 hours.
It's murderous. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's so extra.
And now the way it's now please reread it to solve the mystery.
Fuck you, Kishi! He's mad at me because I'm not thinking hard enough. Make an easier mystery then.
You're the goat.
I'm pretty smart. I'm a pretty smart guy. This is too much. It's putting too much in my brain. I can't deal with it. I'm dying. Every single fucking time. This one was literally right at the end. It's like, oh shit, we've figured out so much of this stuff. Da, 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 da. And then actually, no, you don't know anything.
No.
Shithead.
No. Fuck off. How did you not see this coming, you fucking idiot?
I can't believe you thought you knew anything, you dumbass piece of shit. Go review all of the tips. Go see how every single one of our 700 characters died in all 4 different time loops.
Me and Rhett, we're gonna do that. There's a page on my website where I started cataloging all the red and blue text.
Oh.
I was reading them again, and at some point I got pissed. It was just like, fuck you, Ryukishi. I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna let this wash over me in the answer arcs because I'm the idiot goat.
And then the answer arcs specifically have a part that makes fun of people that stop trying to figure it out.
And it literally says, you are the brainless goats.
Eat shit! I'm gonna go play Phoenix Wright. It's on my phone.
Yeah!
There's a new nice version. I'm gonna play that. You know what happens in Phoenix Wright? There's a murder. They solve the murder. It takes 4 hours, and then it's done.
Hey,
and you go to the next chapter.
Before the 3DS eShop dies, you can go get every single Phoenix Wright game for $2 a pop.
I can't care about the 3DS eShop dying anymore, Paulie.
I can't either, but I'm just saying, myself. If anybody out there wants the Phoenix Wright games right now, it's
an audience rec.
They're $2. That includes the trilogy. The trilogy is $2.99.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Is it really $2.99? Because it's $30 fucking dollars.
Yeah, even on the Steam sale right now, it's still $15. So you can go get the 3DS version right now for $2.99.
But what if I don't want to play on the 3DS?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I am just I'm just not going to play 5 and 6 on that little system. That little guy.
Yeah. That little guy.
That little pretty guy.
Just an honest game console. Before we had all these big Switch and everything, it was like, oh, it's going to be two things at once.
I know.
3DS was an honest game system.
I'm the biggest hypocrite because I'm like, the 3DS is too small, and then whenever I use the Switch, this is too heavy.
It's too heavy. Like, yes. I don't know. I'm actually okay with it. Like, I like my Switches. Like, I get so much use out of my portability, out of portable mode on my Switch. Like, it got me. Like, it is like the best way to play dungeon crawlers. I am convinced.
Nice.
Yeah. I recognize that people love it. I'm just always like, too heavy.
Switch is too big for me. 3DS XL is too big for me. I've got my DS Lite. Whenever I can play something on my DS Lite
was perfect.
DS Lite is perfect. The Game Boy Advance SP was perfect.
Perfect. You put them in your actually fit them in your pocket.
Yeah.
The best thing I never use portable mode on the Switch except when the power goes out, and then it's like, yes, thank you, God.
You could take the Switch and you could put that in the pants that I used to wear when I was in high school.
Crazy.
Big ass Jinko jeans. I'm sure people remember those. Who remembers Jinko? Am I like the only one old enough here to remember Jinko jeans?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I am not.
They're gigantic.
I don't know shit about fashion.
They're gigantic pants.
What was like
was that part of like the goth aesthetic?
Yeah, it was like, there was like a goth skater thing. Like that was my scene, so yeah, like I was the one wearing the Jinko jeans.
Holy shit, these are big.
Yeah, they're very big pants, but I guarantee you I could get a Switch in those.
These are very big.
Yeah. Like when you are a budding transgender person in your teens, but you can't quite wear skirts yet, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like a big skirt.
Yeah,
Gene.
this is exactly like this is why, you know, when you're going through that awkward phase when you're like 15 to 16, you know, and you're not quite out yet. It's like, oh, this is like little things that kind of there's some lore for you.
Oh,
I will wear these gigantic, weird-looking pants. That won't get me made fun of at all.
No, well, I mean, it never really did. Weirdly enough, people made fun of
nice.
People did make fun of me for other things, but it was weirdly never the pants.
Huh. I also never got made fun of in high school for my pants.
Holy shit!
You have nice pants.
20 years later, were they being sarcastic?
Rhett's got a whole ass song written about him, but it was written in like, you know, the before
99ers.
Times. Yeah.
The before times, like the 90s.
There's this kid that I know. His name is Bush, and he's ready to go. He has a web page entitled This Kid Bush is a crazy guy.
The fact that the website is still technically around is insane.
Yeah, I know, right? Inconsequentialexistence.com if you want to go watch some Frequency Meltdown music videos.
I don't think those are up right now though because
you're rebuilding the site. And
you're rebuilding.
I'll try to put those up soon after this episode if anybody, no one will check.
Math is really good. Math is much fun.
The best one.
Yeah, John would love techno math rap.
It's written by guys that hate math.
I can tell.
No!
Because that's the kind of
YouTube videos about math for fun. No.
Umineko.
Fuck Umineko.
Just
fuck witches.
I'm out.
Fuck witches.
Fuck witches. They're terrible. Do you not believe in magic? John, all you've got to do is believe in the miracle. We just needed you to believe. You were the only one. And now we can't have the Golden Land.
I was literally like playing it in half-hour chunks for a big stretch of it because I would just start getting like emotional. Like I know what it feels like when I start feeling like I'm losing my mind. It's like there's a screw in the back of my neck and it feels like the screw is getting tighter and tighter and tighter and the tension is going into my brain and through my whole body. Yeah. And every single time I booted up Umineko, I would be like bracing myself like, hey, let's just play this and have it be a normal video game instead of going insane. And then 20 minutes in, I feel like I'm actually losing my mind. It's like a physical sensation that Umineko was consistently putting my body through.
God!
I don't think 5 is going to be as devastating as 3 and 4
I think it's going to be worse than 3 and 4. But you know what? I didn't think it was going to get worse than 3.
I genuinely think 5. will be better.
I knew that 4 was going to hit. I just didn't know that it would hit with like a level of the that would be a similar potency to what 3 did.
Oh.
I didn't expect
it. 3 didn't hit me this until like near the end.
Right?
4
yeah,
is just
4,
like
the whole thing.
4 is just
Just
constant.
like not quite that same level, but it was just constant, and it's the longest one.
Oh god,
so
yeah.
It's like a long ass fantasy.
It is
novel.
a long wallow in misery.
See, I think what they did was they said, we're going to flip everything from Higurashi, so 4 goes from the shortest to by far the longest.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, there's so idea. It's just like extract feelings out of me in all of the ways that are extremely effective for me.
Mm-hmm. Just very, like that. That's just like potent is the only way I can describe episode 4.
Yeah, to the point where I'd be like, oh, I can't wait for this. This thing is important to this character. I can't wait for it to be torn away horribly later.
Can't wait till you get your heart ripped out.
And I'm still like, oh no, I knew it was coming.
It was, they give you that moment. They keep building up that happiness and that, it's such a beautiful thing. And you fucking know, it's Danganronpa where you know somebody's about to get a fucking axe in their forehead and it's going to be the one that you love. And it's just like, mother, you know it's coming. You know that shit's coming and it's just torn. Everything gets torn asunder and you're just like, I don't have feelings anymore.
It's just like if I have like it's just not like unilaterally good feelings because like they just don't give you any wins.
No
wins.
It is.
I'm 60 hours in. You never get a win.
It's utter despair.
Get a release.
It is utter despair. It's just misery.
I'll make it through. I couldn't like if you told me like, oh, this thing is like Umineko, I would be like, nope, don't think I can feel it.
I don't think I'm not here right now for that.
It's a little bit. It's honestly like it's so much better than Kingdom Hearts. It's a little like Kingdom Hearts because that is like the exhausting thing with Kingdom Hearts for me is like once you get to like Chain of Memories, every single game is just like kind of uncathartic. You don't get a win. Bad things happen. On to the next game. Kingdom Hearts has a shit ton of filler and it's way more stupid. Like the thing with Umineko is that it's doing that same thing, but like it's all extremely thematically pointed.
Yeah,
it's like it's those Ryokishi talking about cycles of abuse.
Oh god, it hurts. It
hurts a lot.
We can't keep letting him get away with it.
I really just want to play like a nice 20-hour game where it's not gaslighting me fucking constantly, and you just finish it and then it's over.
Yeah.
Instead of, all right, better keep playing for another 80 hours.
It's okay, John. You've only got 4 more parts to go.
I'm over the hump. It's the word count of the question marks is higher than the word count of the answer.
Yeah.
At least you know what I get to look forward to is that great ending that everyone has really uncomplicated feelings about.
The ending that I have talked about multiple times on this podcast, and it's been great and wonderful every time.
I've never the impression I've generally gotten is that up through like 5 and 6, everyone is still pretty much loving it and having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was something about originally intended to only be 6, and then people didn't get the ending.
Yeah, I think that was really how it was supposed to go, and then it was just like, Umineko was that, and like at some point, BT died, and I think at that point, I think the writing kind of took a bit of a hit as well, but that's understandable.
I found this forum thread from like 2017 that was like, what was the Umineko fan community like when these were coming out? And the response was kind of like, yeah, it was awful.
It was pretty awful. Yeah.
People hated the ending. People were blaming his friend for dying.
Yeah. It was.
People didn't understand episode 8 until the manga version came out.
Yeah. It was pretty vile being around that fandom or fandom adjacent at that time. And I know that it's not gotten much better over time. I know I have a friend that has been in the Umineko fandom, and they're just like, yeah, that shit's pretty fucking toxic now.
Interesting, because I think respect for Umineko has gone up dramatically.
It has, but that also means that like more people are drawn into the fandom, and then that fandom gets larger and more toxic just by the nature of the internet being the internet.
It's funny, like I still see a lot of Umineko stuff on my timeline, and right when John finished episode 4, I saw a piece of art that was like massively spoiling the whole thing. It was like, oh man, it's just kind of funny timing, like they put it on like sensitive, like you had to click to reveal it on Twitter. Yeah. Because it was like, hey, here is culprit son.
You'll make it, John.
Okay, hey, guess what? If the Umineko fandom is insane, I don't think Umineko is blameless for that.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some merit to that observation.
My God, it makes me think of like Homestuck and Danganronpa, which also are just like specifically trying to keep you completely unmoored from reality the whole time you're reading them, and it's just weak sauce shit. Umineko is the hardest stuff because it again, you know, Danganronpa, you get a win each game.
Yeah.
Homestuck isn't like that wild. Umineko,
it's like you're ending on loss, loser, big ol' loser.
It just didn't hit this way in Higurashi. I don't know why.
Yeah, because that series does not. You don't get wins in that until like the end. But yeah, like I think it's just.
I mean, you do kind of get a win in 6, and then it immediately steals it away.
And then it immediately gets stolen from you.
But I think you do get that big, extremely cool moment at the end, and like you can kind of be like, well, there's a path forward from here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Umineko has very cool fights, but then they still kind of pull the rug out on you every single time.
I think that maybe that's it, is that Umineko is like every chapter end is like from 2 on is like Sumi levels of big fight, catharsis.
Yeah, then, it's still building on that same like Rena Keiichi energy.
So getting that kind of intensity and then getting rug pulled over and over.
You're fucking Charlie Brown and Lucy in the football.
But remember when Rosa fought the goats
with the shotgun?
That was cool, right?
It's very good.
It's very good. Mom of the year.
Mom of the year.
Thank y'all for being careful. Cecile's listening. She's played up through chapter 2, so I'm very.
Oops.
No, that's chapter 2 ending. You're good.
But I didn't know that specifically.
So I've been careful too. I can't. I haven't exactly censored myself too well. So
okay.
Oh my God, I hate it. I kept playing the game and I kept just like looking at the screen and pausing and just being like, I hate this. I hate playing this. I hate this game.
I hate it. Why are you doing this to me?
This one is hitting you so much more than it did me. Like I just kind of brain off, enjoyed the goofiness of it.
Like I definitely there's definitely a lot of stuff in 4 that like when I was reading it, it was very hard, but like I didn't get wrecked in the same way.
Yeah. John was like, I'm gonna pause now for a 15-minute ugly cry break. And then that turns into an hour-long break.
Mm-hmm. And then I boot it back up, and then 20 minutes later, I feel insane again.
This one's definitely significantly more in your head than it was for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's me bringing a lot of shit into it, so I don't really know what's up.
Yeah.
I feel it's just like I remember like in the beginning, I was like, for the first like half or so especially, I was just like posting bad, posting in the kind of like slightly deranged way you don't I don't remember doing since I was like 23 or something. Woo! I was just like, this is
You sent us some DMs and then deleted them.
Yeah, and then you deleted them. And it was like, Jesus.
I never do that now. I've been over that. Oh. I can write stuff and stand by it. I don't need to. I don't be like, oh shit. I don't overshare to the point where I'm like, oh, I regret doing that. But Umineko pulled that out of me. It's just like
Umineko got John turning back into the old John.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Paulie. I don't like Umineko.
You don't like it? You love it.
I don't want to play anymore. Let me out of the basement. I'm staring at all.
Okay, John.
Please, okay. Let me stop. As I have my hand over the fingernail device. Please, I don't want to do this.
Okay, John, you have to choose Umineko 5 through 8, like right now, or watching all of Love Live.
Oh, God. Jesus. This is a unique torture. Jesus fucking Christ.
Because Umineko's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Umineko's good. Love Live is not.
It would fuck me, but I really don't want to do that right now.
I think they would both fuck you up in ways that you're not ready for.
I did feel a little deranged after the first episode because like I'm so I will commit to 3 apps. That's so I finish almost everything. So it's just like that I finished the first step and I was like I'd spent like a week ago I told Cecile let's watch Love Live. I kind of want to try that out. It's just a little 12 episode series. Let's just do it. Let's see what it's like. And I finished that episode and I was like I really don't want to keep going.
Man, I really
don't want to.
I can't believe it was episode 1 that got you because I laughed a lot when she started dancing in the road.
I think I
there's just such an intense cheesiness to it that I was still in.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was episode 3 when they actually turned into idols, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm out." Originally, now I'm 100% in.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's comforting. It means maybe I can get there someday.
No, I think you're.
No, I don't think you can. I think you're. Like that shit is like poison. That's for me. Like I don't think you're ever getting in.
I'm saying
magic resisting toxin is too strong.
I'm saying that you're weaker than I was when I initially dropped it, and I built up that resistance. But you're like, I don't know. I'm kind of losing the train of thought.
No, I think I get you.
Like I started at level 5, and you're at level 1, so it's like, oh, you've got even further to go.
Mm.
You couldn't even finish
level 5.
Level 5 Hinazawa syndrome.
Fuck! Ryukishi poisons her brain so thoroughly.
Yeah, like the.
I actually said level 5 and thinking of like just JRPGs in general. Like you never really start at level 1; you start at like level 6 or something.
I know, but it was very funny that you specifically said level 5.
Level 5.
Yeah, I get it.
The Umi talk. I felt old playing Umineko. I was like, this is all this stuff is just too much for my frail little heart. I just want to go back to my hobbits, my nice hobbits. Nice spider isekai. It's like 1 twist in 2 books, and it's pretty, and it's very nicely fleshed out. It's very good. And then she fights big monsters and scrapes by the skin of her teeth. That's great.
Do spiders have like teeth?
I think they have fangs.
I don't
usually.
I mean,
I do not know the anatomy of a spider, but
right?
Tarantulas have fangs.
Tarantulas do for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think regular spiders have fangs. Boy, if you Google tarantula fangs, the image results are very scary.
I bet. That is probably one of those searches that the internet has very much poisoned for us. And
the worst is Googling like any minor like skin thing, and then getting like the 12 out of 10.
Like the 12 out of 10 version. It's like, what does eczema look like? Oh God!
It's like your skin melting every time.
Your skin melting off the bone, and
yeah.
No.
And then Mayo Clinic on the right. Do you have cancer?
Cecile, I'm 29. I don't want to read about witches being mean.
That's usually when you're 36, you actually do want to read.
That's really like that. That is
maybe
peak.
I just need to reach the next level.
That is peak wanting to read about witches treating you awfully. That's peak.
Undoing years of therapy, like paint stripper on paint. I did stop seeing my therapist this year.
Well, there you go.
That probably is contributing. See, 5 years. I felt good about it. I felt like, okay, I think I'm ready to kind of not have to lean on this anymore. I feel good. I feel sad about that. So that might be contributing here.
Sure.
I think Umineko is totally approachable if you just root for the evil witches. Like Burn and Lambda Delta. If you're on their side,
like that's kind of like where I was at. Like I just kind of found them to be way more fun.
Polly, you had a certain character's avatar for many years.
Wait, there's somewhere where I still have the Burn Castle.
You still
avatar.
use the Burn Castell avatar on.
I think it's my anime list.
Yeah,
I think
it's your Mao.
I'm not ready.
It's still my Steam as well.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's still your Steam.
It's still my Steam and my anime list.
This hasn't really happened, but I've seen it in fandom osmosis. I'm not ready for Rika to make mean witch faces at me. I don't want Rika to do that to me.
But it's not Rika. She's not Furude Rika.
It's not Rika. But she does do a fight-ho.
Yeah, she does. Somehow feels very nostalgic.
I'm not ready for that.
Oh God.
So that's my Umineko journey.
Yeah, it's a journey.
I'm not gonna play anymore for a while.
John's just done.
I still haven't played any JRPGs this year, or I haven't played any long RPGs this year.
I've played long RPGs. I'm in the middle of one right now.
You have. It sounds like it's treating your heart very, very nicely too, right?
God damn it. So like I bought Xenoblade 3 literally the day it came out. Just kind of like just because like I played Xenoblade, what was it, last year? God, time. What is time anymore?
Yeah, Definitive Edition was on your game of the year list.
Yeah, okay. That was like number 2. Holy shit, I like that game a lot.
But not as much as Transistor for some reason.
Oh boy, Transistor. That's not.
Oh my God, Transaruby.
Like, wait, what are you talking about? No, Transaruby is game of the year. Like that's a that's a jam.
I didn't do that on purpose. I just
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? God damn. Learn video games. Good God.
You bought Xenoblade 3 when it came out.
Yeah, I got Xenoblade 3 when it came out, and like I didn't really poke around with it much. Like I think when I got it, I like maybe played like 10 or so minutes of it, just kind of like, all right, let's see how this is. All right, this isn't where my mood's at, so we won't do it. So
do you remember if that was before or after you dabbled in 2?
I think it was after I dabbled in 2 because I tried like for like an entire week to like Xenoblade episode 2 or Xenoblade 2 and just like, holy crap, everything about this game just wants me to hate it. It's so anti-me in the way that I like to have fun with video games. So it's just like at every corner, at every fucking turn, Xenoblade 2, it's just like, no, I'm not going to be fun for you at all. This is going to be a slog and it's going to be misery. Also, here's Tora, the worst character ever written in a video game.
What if we have a horny mascot character in our RPG?
But here's Kira, the best, most perfect wife ever.
Oh, God.
I remember my brother. I think he just watched a donkey video or something.
Oh,
it was
God.
Like, John, Xenoblade is like evil porn.
Evil
Xenoblade
porn.
2 is like evil porn.
Oh God, man, Donkey gets his views out of just dumping on the Xenoblade fan base because God, they just fall for it every fucking time.
God.
I mean, he dunks on literally everything. It's fine.
But it's like the Xenoblade fandom. I saw them just get so upset about it and ass blasted. Like literally, how can we get this guy banned? It's like, go touch grass. Go get laid. Go jack off. Do something.
Ryukishi fans and Xeno fans online.
Oh God.
the most deranged people.
They're so deranged. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like so like Xenoblade 2 just was not hitting, but like I liked what I was seeing about Xenoblade 3 because like, oh, this is this cool, darker, edgier story about these characters that die after 10 years, and this is the story like they're all in their last year. This is gonna be so deep and cool, and I like you could tell that I'm the kid that wore the Jinko jeans in school. Makes sense. I'm the one that likes this shit.
Yeah.
It all adds up. And then like Rhett played it, and then we listening to him talk about it. I was like, oh no, is this gonna be bad? Is this gonna be kind of because like, did it make your list? I don't even remember.
Holly, it was above Fata Morgana.
Oh right, dude. I don't, dude. We
like
have I have not thought about podcasts or I have not thought about podcasts or podcasting in 3 months, okay? Like
that was the whole joke on the podcast is like, but by the way, I am putting it above House and Forgot About It.
Yeah. Now, I remember it now.
Yeah,
but I remember thinking, you know, I came away from that.
I also did gripe excessively about like the level balancing and how I sleepwalked through the combat for the entire game.
Yeah, I put the game on hard from the get-go.
Oh god, I started it on hard and I think I was like so exhausted by backstabs and side attacks before getting Mio and the others.
Oh god, yeah. Starting out, it's really rough.
It was so fucking slow. I was like, I can't do the whole game like this.
Because you start out and you can mostly only control Noah, and like that's all you can do is break, wait for the topple, backstab days, and it's just
there was like,
and that's the first 4 hours of the game
on hard. It's too much on hard because there was like.
The enemy HP pools are just way higher, and you've only got 3 characters or 4. Yeah. It's rough.
There was like a level 6 mini boss that does not matter whatsoever, and it killed me like 5 times, and I had to like walk back and grind. I was like, dude, just turn it down. It's fine. Xenoblade 2 is easier. It's fine. But then I ended up breaking the difficulty and being like, oh, well, it's one of those like the Fire Emblem Awakening of like, I just can't find a way that's satisfying for me.
Yeah, they've got a real balance problem that they need to probably address going forward with the way they give you just experience hand over fist. And they got the idea right when they brought it in with 2, where you just bank that experience from exploration and doing side quests. But like, I am pretty sure Definitive Edition like lets you level down, so that like
Tom said that as well, so I'll believe it.
Like I remember very specifically that like I remember using the experience like in Xenoblade 1 Definitive, and that game still being pretty challenging.
Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade X are hard as hell. So
yeah, like those games were surprisingly hard. So
it's frustrating
overreaction to that.
So for a while in Xenoblade 3, I was using the experience, and I got to like chapter 2 or 3, and I was like 23, and I think the enemies were like 18 or so, and I'm like, I'm not getting class experience, so like my classes aren't leveling up, and my characters aren't learning classes because you need CP to earn. But if like enemies are like 5 levels below you, you get no class points, so your characters cannot earn classes. And it's
the fact that there is a tangible reason to de-level to be closer to the enemy level so that you get CP.
Yeah.
And they don't have the de-leveling from Definitive Edition is just like, oops.
Yeah.
Especially
since this came out after Definitive Edition, like, hello.
And the release date of this got pushed up like a month and a half or so.
Like 3 months. It was supposed to come out in like September, and they pushed it up to July.
They pushed it up because Nintendo apparently just sits on finished games.
Yeah.
But then for everyone to be like, could have used some more time in the oven for balancing issues.
Maybe could have done something here. Yeah. So like I noticed my balance issues coming in like at the start, and when I stopped using the quest experience and the exploration experience, it's so weird that these games are just like, I just have to not engage with certain systems in order to be able to enjoy them. It feels so counterintuitive. Of just like explaining somebody to like enjoy, hey, here's this game I really like. Also, don't engage with like 80% of it.
It's really frustrating that like they should just say like don't use the bonus experience if you're actually like going completionist. Because I fully explored like the first 2 areas and got to like level 50 by chapter 3.
Why don't they just like, I don't know why they don't have some kind of enemy scaling of some sort. that you can enable.
Or that would, yeah.
Like if you don't want that experience to be your game to be like that, like just have an option where you can toggle enemies to be like, okay, they scale to your level. Because enemies like do have random amounts of HP and their stats are randomized to a certain degree, so there's no way that they could not do this.
I mean, what was it? Fucking Oblivion did level scaling 15 years ago or whatever.
A lot of RPGs have done level
scaling. Final Fantasy VIII did level scaling.
Oh, but they did it pretty badly too.
It's pretty bad, yeah. It is.
All these games just need to catch up with Saga.
but yeah, like in terms of just like the side quests in this game are much better. Like, holy crap, the side quests are actually really nice. Like really good stories. So like that's why I've engaged with them more, is because like, oh, there's like actually really good stories here, and like the hero quests are awesome.
Those rule, yeah.
And that's how you like they don't make those too hard to find either. Like they'll usually just be like, oh, you just go look at your map. There'll be like a question mark there. Like, well, what's that doing there now?
Yeah, like the big golden exclamation point or whatever.
Yeah,
like, you should probably go over there and find the guy who gives you gunslinger or whatever.
Yeah, it gives you fucking full metal.
That's the one, yeah.
Oh god, it's the best class. I don't like. Why would I play anything else?
I love that the dual handgun one is also lasers.
Big old lasers. You got 2 big old attacks that you can use with lasers, and then your special talent artist just, I'm gonna pull out my lasers and spin. It's so good.
Like, it's like that. Remember in PSU?
Yeah,
like the
SUVs.
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot they were called SUV.
Aren't they SUVs? I'm pretty sure they were.
No,
called...
I think they are.
Yeah, they were called SUVs.
You just summon these big cannons and just fucking dump lasers.
Yeah, it's exactly, and they look exactly like that, basically. Yeah. But so yeah, like I think the battle system is fun. I think that like all like the fact that you have to use 7 characters, I think they simplified the battles a lot.
It's 7 characters is such fucking chaos.
It's like if you were going into a battle and it's a skirmish with like 5 other units, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna stand here and hope I'm hitting something because I can't see what's going on here.
The auto attack range is shockingly generous. Like you're not actually having to be next to them.
There's literally a boss that you attack from a mile away in chapter 2. You can't even approach it because it puts down a gigantic wall that you can't step into or you die. So you just attack it from like 8 miles away.
For John, it's like, you know how in Final Fantasy, like the 16-bit ones, you're standing really far from the enemy and you still hit them. It's literally that.
Yeah, it's very silly.
From like 30 feet away and hit them.
There's like a fucking boss that is like the size of a skyscraper, and you are just these these 7 little characters just thinking away at it from a mile away. It's so good.
There's some just like level 70 enemies that later on that are just like, yeah, you're just literally hitting a foot.
Yeah.
And like the camera gets all fucked up because you're fighting like a giant T-Rex and like, you can only see the foot.
What are you doing, Monolith?
There are such big enemies.
It's like I mean, Joe made it this big. I wouldn't want to break his heart and shrink it, you know? He put so much time into it. I like the story so far. Are
you better after where you're at? If you don't like it by that point, fucking stop.
What? Like you had to have, like, I think that this game like jumps into it so much faster. Like it's just like this game was not like 20 hours of me waiting for the JRPG to start. I shouldn't call them JRPGs. Why did I do that? 20 hours of me waiting for the RPG to start, like the first game is. Like this one, I feel like you've got a pretty big sense of urgency from the get-go, and the way they kind of work you into like getting both sets of characters together in a decent amount of time, and then that dynamic kind of paying off, and then
the combat system doesn't really start till you have everyone.
Yeah. And then they just start like dumping out all of the mechanics, and they tutorialize them properly, which is nice. They even have like drills that you can go in and do. Like if you didn't get what something meant, like they have a drill that you can go into and be like, here's exactly how you set up a chain attack.
I kind of hated, I think everyone started as like max level for their default class.
Yeah.
And that drove me nuts because I'm like, all right, time to play as Senna and use the big hammer and hit stuff. And it's like, oh, but I'm not gonna get class experience.
I'm not gonna get anything for it. So it's kind of
you get all these characters and then immediately switch them to different classes.
Switch them to the other classes so they teach you the job system. So everybody has to be something else.
I'm like, Mio, you wear white, you have white hair, you are my healer.
You're the healer.
It's just the law. I'm sorry. Even though they default you as a tank.
God, she's such a good tank, though. She has carried some super fucking hard fights for me.
But she looks like a healer.
She does. She's a non-standard tank. I love it.
I did Uni as a tank most of the time.
Uni's a pretty good tank, too, yeah.
Because she gets that the fucking tank class with the double saber.
God, it's so good.
I was like, yep, that's the one. That's the one.
That's the one you that is the outfit you look hottest in, so you get to be that.
But I'm also not getting class experience, so you got that one. That's what you are for the rest of the game.
And to be fair, I feel like that this game, like, so long as you've got a good composition of like healer, tank, DPS, like you're fine. Like all the characters are graded on how well they can do each class, but in my experience, like I've literally had everybody as everything, and it's been totally fine.
Yeah.
Even on
I think
hard.
Most people like to either do like 2 of everything or 3 healers.
3 healers is usually probably like, because like if a healer goes down in this game, oh, it's real bad. Yeah, you will get like I noticed that like if I get one, even like one healer sometimes is enough to make oh god, everything's gone to shit in like a matter of seconds, and you can't pick characters up the same way you did in 1 and 2.
By default, only healers can pick up revive.
Yeah, so you like,
so if one goes down, then the other one has to revive them. And if both go down, you're just done.
And if both go down, you're fucked. And they can be like, and like it's not just like they run over and like, you know, touch them like 1 and 2 either. They have to do this whole like it's a stat that determines how quickly they can get a person back up. And it's just like, if they're there for like 5 seconds and the enemy's going at them because you pull aggro doing this too.
God. And then they're also not healing while doing it.
Healing while they're doing that. So if your tank is not keeping them preoccupied and your other healer goes down, they think, well, that's game.
Yeah. It's really sad when like the healers go down, but I've got the like the fusion thing, and it's like, well, I'm going to lose, but I can hold out in this invincible form for like 30 seconds.
For like 30 seconds. You just like hope you can dump enough in like damage in to hopefully finish the fight.
I think there is an accessory that can let anyone heal.
Yeah.
Or revive, and I put that on Lance, and then it was like, yes, this is very, very helpful.
That's a smart move, yeah.
Because then he'll be healing it while still holding aggro and just flinching it off. Like, just keep hitting me. I'm healing over here.
He's a big dumb rock. He's fine. But yeah, I'm liking the story a lot so far. I think that like it's my favorite cast of this series so far. I think like I just this is a series like this is a cast of characters that feels just like, oh, it's that found family thing where they grow together, like not immediately. You see like the wrinkles in their relationships and the way that they kind of come together and understand one another, and how like they become better fighters through interlinking because, you know, they're growing as people. It's very well done. Like it's that kind of story, really. And the way like Brett said earlier, I don't know if it was part of the show or not, but like when you get to a certain point, it's literally like 2 hours of cutscenes, and it's like the best 2 fucking hours. And that was me yesterday. So the story's basically in full gear now. It's just like, oh, we know what we're doing. I feel like I'm probably coming up on the end game at this point. It's starting to feel real end gamey to me, and I'm like 60 hours
you have
in.
A fair bit left.
Okay, I am 60 hours in. So yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. Like that
game, like, it's really as long as you make it, because the area for chapter 5 is so fucking big.
It's huge.
And again, and I'm saying that in a like area 5 is so huge in a game where I spent like 50 hours in the first 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, how big is this?
Yeah,
I I think because of that area, like in terms of volume, it's like bigger than the first two games combined or something.
I would not be shocked. Like I was just running around that area where's the edge? How am I still finding places? It is the Hollow Knight of areas.
I remember putting like not the fast travel, but like the waypoint marker on one edge and having it be like 3,000 meters away or something.
Yeah, like
it's like, oh, okay, like this map is like 2 miles wide or something.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's really big. It's not as dense as something like Xenoblade X, which is just, yeah, but it's ridiculous what they do.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It definitely scratched those open world itches for me.
Yeah, like I still find myself running around like one of the main complaints I saw is that this game felt really empty, and it's like I'm not getting that.
I don't agree with that either.
Like I still feel that like just going off the beaten path and just like I'm still compelled to go do that, and like what's down here or what's over here, oh there's like some husks to send, or there's a container to go find. Like I always feel pretty rewarded for having searched the areas and stuff, and like I don't get in any unnecessary fights either, so I'm trying to I'm trying to keep things at a level where it's just like the main story remains like a nice challenge, because I want those big stakesy fights to feel big and stakesy, and they have so far. They have so far.
That didn't work for me, where it was like the one you fight in the castle, I think chapter 4 was like a real big moment, and then it was over extremely quickly for me, because I was like 20 levels over them, and I was like,
that's rough. That's rough.
Like I'm very invested in the story, but these fights are just over.
Yep. Oops.
It's like, wow, this music is incredible, and then
it's gone. We didn't even
there's
get...
one.
Yeah.
There is like one fight in the game with like a unique, like not in the main quest. I think it's a hero quest with a unique boss fight, and then it gets interrupted if you do a chain attack.
Oh, yeah.
And people got so mad about that specific one.
Oh, that would be yeah. The chain attack music mechanic, like it's fun. But I also can see it just like where it's like this really slows things down and grinds a battle to a halt. And the fact that it like will override any cool music going on is kind of a bummer.
And also it contributes to you over leveling, because
you get like, oh, here's 800% more experience.
You can turn that off. So
you can turn overkill off?
Yeah, look in the options. I forgot to mention that.
Oh shit, I need to do that. Yeah, I need to because I use chain attacks a lot.
I mean, they're basically required for the bosses, because the bosses have
billions
of
HP. Like I can do 1.7 million damage to a boss, and it's just like, oh, okay, now you've brought them down to their rage state.
Yeah, there's an option like end chain attacks as soon as the enemy is actually dead.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go turn that on. So
you don't get the bonus experience, and they're quicker.
That's good. Yeah, I need to do that.
But it was like I was doing a bunch of chain attacks in like chapter 3, and that's when I was like, okay, like maximizing my gain to get like 500% experience. Oops, I'm level 50 now.
It's fun to watch the numbers go up, though.
I mean,
it's very fun to watch the numbers go up.
You've done the Ouroboros orders, right?
Oh God, yeah, they're so good.
I'm like, these are so good. What? Can you seriously not put a skip button in?
Why is there not a skip button? Yeah, like how do you not have a skip button for them?
It was so aggressively like not respecting your time to where there's just no way to fast forward it at all.
At all. Like that is one of the first things I started trying to do after I'd seen them all, was like jamming on start, pressing button. Like, are you kidding?
I wonder what the speedrunners do.
It seems like they regressed back to like PS1, PS2 RPGs.
A little bit.
Like, all right, now you get to watch the long, pretty animation play out.
And they're cool. It's great.
Cool on PS1 too. Cool in Xenosaga.
Oh God.
Take a long time.
Oh boy. Xenosaga, it loves its attacks, buddy. Oh boy. They're so lovingly crafted, and you are going to enjoy every frame.
The end game ones where they have to cut away to full motion video.
Well, you can skip those.
Oh yeah. Oh wait.
You can press start like the big Cosmos one where it's just an FMV where she opens her gut and shoots out big belly laser. Yeah, you can just press start. Anything that loads an FMV, you can skip.
Oh, that's good to know. I think I didn't know because at that point I was already using the fast forward button.
Right. Yeah. The fast forward button on your completely legitimate PlayStation 2 hardware.
Yep.
It's a good mod. It's a good mod to get done. It's worth it.
Yeah. Just frame skip button adding to your PS2.
Yeah.
It's like a foot pedal that connects to the CPU.
It actually works like a car where you just like the harder you press it, the faster it goes.
Literally the nitro.
Like you have to hold it down in order for the game to run at all. If you take it off, then the frame rate goes to 0.
Yeah.
It's a big improvement over the previous
powered Atari.
Yeah.
The previous one you had to like keep like moving it forward like in the Flintstones where you're powering the whole thing just with like pedals. It wasn't pedals in the Flintstone, they just touched the ground. But you
I get you. It's a good bit, John. It's a good bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. We were laughing. It's a good bit.
Laughing up the storm.
I'm sure somewhere someone attached a bike to a Game Boy.
Yeah.
They were like, and if I stop, the game turns off.
Yep. Yeah. Xenoblade 3. It's like kind of like the only game that I've played this year, basically. Like, cause I went through. Like, I finished Jack Move. That was a cool little indie RPG.
And then you reviewed it.
And then I wrote
a
review. I wrote a review in the year of our Lord 2023. And then I just did not play video games, and I watched a bunch of anime. Bocchi the Rock's pretty good.
Bocchi
the Rock is now Sockscast approved.
Yes, Bocchi the Rock is Sockscast approved. That's an amazing.
The first anime
show.
To do that in like a decade.
Yeah,
because it's a modern anime that me and Polly watched.
Yeah, like we literally enjoy. Like I'm enjoying the new Trigun as well.
Nice.
I know a lot of people aren't because it's not just hey we're remaking Trigun, and it's also it's also super grim dark and fucking what.
Is it trying to adapt the manga more?
No, it's just like, hey, here's this really dark and kind of awful story that's happening to everybody.
I mean, the manga's aggressively different and also pretty grim dark. So that's why I was thinking about it.
I've never read the manga, so.
Okay.
You were saying, Rhett?
Have you kept up with Northern War?
No, I got to episode 3 and it was so bad that I just I just stopped watching it. It was like, oh no, I need to go back. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna watch it.
Because John showed me the My Anime List score of like 5, and I was like,
I've never seen a 5. That's new levels.
Holy shit, dude. Like, Nier Automata started out at like 6.2, and I think even that is like a 7 now.
Let me see.
Like, in the Nier Automata has been a pretty good adaptation of the game. So
yeah, it has a 7.48 now.
Yeah,
that is
like it's
completely
been pretty
respectable.
fine. Like I've enjoyed what I've seen of it so far. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I've been watching in terms of. I don't know that I've seen anything else.
The Kaguya-sama movie's fucking incredible. That treated me real good.
Right.
Which is nuts because the series ending was already extremely good.
I know the series already had like pretty perfect ending.
And then they just like they Monaco Rebellion did. They made another ending, and it's also very good.
Cool. But anyway, like Xenoblade is cool. I'm probably gonna keep playing that because there's not a whole lot else on my radar right now. I don't know that I'll play anything after it because again I've just not felt like playing video games or doing fuck all. So who knows what's gonna happen after I finish that game? Maybe it'll leave me just wallowing in a pit of despair or something.
Just reread Minako.
Just read it. There you
Takahashi
go.
Hey, Polly. Takahashi games don't do that. Takahashi doesn't do you that way. You get a good ending where you fly down from space with your wife in your arms, and everybody's like, "Yay!" And then it plays a nice song, and you get to be happy.
Oh man,
Takahashi's a nice author.
I remember having very good things to say about the Xenoblade 3 ending as well.
All right. You know what? That's got me happy because like I like these characters. I like this story a whole lot. So it's just like if this is gonna end up in a nice, really cool place, then I like we're going good. Because so far the game's got me like in the way that like all the ways that 2 was just like no. Also, I don't have a problem with a single fucking no pun in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Nice.
I mean, what's his name? Riku in this one?
We got Riku and Manana are absolutely the fucking best. I love them both. They are my children.
Riku's English voice, they made it way deeper, and it's great.
It's
I do
very
like
good.
it.
I love his voice. I love it.
He's just very cool.
He's just very cool and composed at all times. He's
the badass Nopon.
He's so good. Riku is amazing. I love Riku and Manana. They're they finally wrote Nopons in a way that's just like, cool, I don't want to strangle them. I don't know how you'd strangle a Nopon.
You need very wide hands.
You would need God, where's your fucking neck? How do I break this?
You need some piano. You need some piano wire, and then you need another thing of piano wire, and then you need to tie them together.
Yeah. That's
dark.
Dark. Yeah, that's.
I feel like if you cut open a Nopon just across the front, pillow stuffing comes out.
Just crawl in there, have a nap.
It's like a one of those Russian dolls. Just another one comes out.
Another, and each one you pull out is worse than the last one.
They get hornier as you go deeper.
You cut open Rico and just an actual sex offender pops out.
Oh no!
Oh wait, no, not Riku, the one
Tora.
in Tora.
Yeah.
You cut open Tora and literal rapist falls out. Jesus Christ.
Dark Nopon humor. It's our niche now.
Anyway, Rhett, did you want to talk about anything?
Maybe a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Cool. Bathroom break, sorry.
Alrighty.
I did realize without the schedule, we're like, when am I going to bring that up?
When do we do that? We'll just do it.
When we're just flowing.
You flowing. Like urine, baby! Woo! Urine jokes. That's how we do it here on the Sockscast. How do you guys feel about pee? Awkward silence.
God damn it. I unplug my headphones and mute my mic, and then I hear, how do you guys feel about pee? I'm gonna go pee.
We'll be right back.
Blap.
How you doing out there, Chatland? What are you doing out there? Everybody doing?
Be there in just a sec.
Alrighty. John will be here in just a sec, everybody.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's good information to have, I think.
I mean, personally, I don't take 5 minutes to pee, but...
No, but hey, look, sometimes... I mean, I don't know. Your dick is so gigantic. I don't know how, because you've got to, like, roll that thing back up and get it in, like... I don't know how you do that. Like, it's just wild. I have taken so many screenshots in Xenoblade that I've meant to post because they were all talking about how things are so big, and the joke was always going to be, Rhett knows what they mean.
All the screenshots I took were of Senna.
Yeah, I got a lot of those too. She's very cool.
She's very...
5-minute break means 5-minute break. It means time to make a cup of tea. Time to eat some cheese out of my fridge.
Eat some cheese.
I want to eat some cheese.
Hey, Rhett, how do you feel about pee?
Rhett, how do you feel about pee? If you had to like give us like your kind of like you have to kind of like give us your gut reaction, like what does your brain say when you're just at, hey, what about some urine? How you feeling about that?
I mean, the thing itself, I don't feel great about. Mm-hmm. But when you really have to go and you do the act,
yeah,
pretty nice.
It's pretty great.
Real good.
It's just
like a little kind of a mini orgasm.
Little bit.
Kind of like a sneeze.
A sneeze.
Feels a little like a...
I would see, like, on the
orgasm.
scale of sneeze to orgasm, it's, like, more towards the latter.
Okay.
I
did once.
So it's better than... A good piss is better than a good sneeze?
Oh, for sure. Sneezes
sure.
are, like, a 1.
When
like, I'm not even sure they're 1. For me, they're kind of like a 0. Like, I don't get any sexual pleasure from a sneeze.
I didn't say sexual, but it's just like it's similar where there's a physical kind of body pleasure to a sneeze.
I mean, when I sneeze like 4 times in a row, then it's like, oh yeah, that was kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But like, that's kind of
you need that continuous buildup, which you do get from pissing. That's what you're saying.
When I was much younger, somebody who was much my junior had asked me, very innocently, like, what does an orgasm feel like? And I remember my response to them, like, I had to stop for just a couple of seconds. It's just like, how do I word this? Like, what is an orgasm? And, like, my response just right after just rolled out was, it's like your crotch is sneezing. So it was perfect that we kind of had that whole peeing, coming, sneezing analogy there, because it all fit together.
All the way back. Kind of, it all fits together, like...
I mean, I feel like that's something I heard a long time ago. Is like, oh, 7 sneezes is like equivalent to coming, and I'm like, fucking no, it's not.
Nah, dude. It's about as messy though.
Life is good.
Okay, so Rhett,
remember we don't actually have to go for another hour and a half. Probably.
Okay, do you want me to just hit my thing quickly then?
Rhett, you can talk about whatever you want, my dear.
I know, I feel like we're kind of going back into the
I think we're
routine,
yeah, I
but
think
we're looser about it.
We'll be looser. We'll get it.
Yeah, I think one thing is better than 2.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, is not monologuing about something only you know.
Yeah. It feels real bad.
It feels real bad. Like, I think we'll be done by 8. I watched all of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This was very obviously the thing that has stayed in my head. I don't even I remember I picked this up because John did, but like I didn't actually know anything about it basically going in.
I didn't know anything about Hunter x Hunter. It was
I know
kind of nuts going into
shit about Hunter x Hunter.
And I'm still not really going to talk about the show itself. I'm going to talk about the one specific arc that destroyed me. Because I watched... another part of me picking it up was finding out that John watched the 2011 version. And then I discovered kind of at random that there was a different adaptation in 1999.
Yeah.
That's prettier because it was made in 1999.
Yeah.
It's so much prettier, and Rhett really rubbed it in. He was like, "Look at this, John! Wow, John, you really watched the shittier
Look
version."
at this DigiPaint garbage.
Look at this! Look at this
like
garbage.
It's like specifically that the 99 version is considered like one of like the pinnacle of cell animation.
Yeah.
Because it was done right before like the switchover happened.
Yeah.
And then I think they did a 2004 OVA for it that actually was DigiPaint and does not look good anymore.
Can
which
tell.
is a shame.
Hey, guess what? Hunter x Hunter 99. It has lighting.
It has lighting. They like go so aggressively on like sunsets and like lighting settings, the mood and stuff. That's almost like a little obnoxious. Like they're flexing on a show that didn't exist for another 12 years, where everything in 2011 is like everything is halogen lit super brightly and it's always daytime. It's either
flat.
daytime or nighttime. It's just very flat.
Yeah.
So I watched the original 70 episodes of the 99 one, and then unfortunately, because the manga has been running since 98, they caught up. So in order to continue the story, you do have to switch over to the 2011 version eventually. And I wasn't going to do that at first because I was like, okay, 70 episodes is a long show. I'm good
it's a
here.
beefy show.
And then John, I think that's when John finished it and was like, this was very good. I'm going to recommend it. And particularly the Chimera Ant arc, which is another thing that was putting me off watching the rest of 2011, is because there were only 3 arcs left, and one of them is 61 episodes by itself, which is just like, when you've watched 70 episodes, hearing that one single arc is 61 episodes, it's just like, fucking what?
That's
How
a
good
lot.
could it be?
Like, what could you do?
Yeah. Like the first arc is like 30 eps, the second arc is like 10, the next one is 20. So 60 is wild.
60 is like so dramatically longer than anything else so far. So Hunter x Hunter, just to be really basic, it's kind of an anti-shonen where it's not conventional in the way that a lot of others are. It's not a lot about fighting. Gon loses a lot. He gets beat up at the end of most of the story arcs. And I think there is one clever thing, is that Greed Island, the one before Chimera Ant, is the one time where an arc ends with Gon punching the bad guy and winning the fight. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it feels like it's stepping its toe more into being traditional fighting shonen. Even though that arc also has insane shenanigans that aren't really fun to watch, where they're like counting cards and like
it's like turns into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, like the whole teleportation card stuff, like it is still like frustrating and like in its weirdness and like unconventionalness, but it does end with a big punch. And it was like, okay, you're dipping your toe in.
So long as we get the big punch, right?
So basically, okay, to be blunt, Chimera Ant introduces these new villains that are based on ants. The Chimera Ants. They're like these giant human-sized guys, and they suck. They kill a bunch of people. They kill civilians. They kill some named characters from earlier in the show. You're really, really rooting against them.
Mm-hmm. They kill children.
Yeah,
they kill children you like.
It's very violent all of a sudden.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh my god, finally, you're rooting against. You have an enemy you can root against, and like, Gon and friends come in and they start clearing house, pretty much for like 10 episodes. And it's like, okay, we finally got some action in this shonen show. It just took me like 80 episodes.
God.
So basically, yada yada yada, 61 episode arc. By the end of it, I realized that they had gotten me. Is that this arc pulled a Shinseki Yori on me.
Oh no.
By the end, I felt so fucking bad for rooting against the non-human enemy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Because I was like, yeah, like at the start of the arc, yeah, it's so fun when they fucking kill all these ants. And then by the end, fucking sobbing as the human response to the ants was just so overwhelmingly genocidal that you feel awful all over again. It's like there's a line in one part where a character is like, don't underestimate humans. And in any other shonen, that line would be followed up by like, humans have friends. We are stronger together, or something cheesy. Mm-hmm. And in this show, don't underestimate humans is like followed with the subtext of humans are so much more cruel and violent towards each other than you could ever fucking possibly imagine.
I think the line is don't underestimate the malice within the human heart.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
and then it sells it. It's like, yeah, that was dark, friend.
It's just so unbelievably sad and dark for a fucking kids show. Not really kids show at this point, but like, it just so caught me off guard. And it was the one where like for like 3 days would not leave my brain, like how it ends, and just like, man, it's like conflict and war sucks.
Yeah, wild
like,
how nothing like a good old-fashioned genocide to make you feel like shit for a fucking week.
Isn't it so great when Gon punches people? Brett? Don't you love a good Gon punch?
Fucking God. Just the way, and then even seeing some guy on the My Anime List forums be like, I thought Gon was going to go Super Saiyan and fight the king. And I'm like, you idiot, that's not how this arc is going to end. And then it ended in a way that was... But then I thought Gon is going to reconcile and reach a peaceful solution. And then it's not that either, obviously. And it's just like, everyone in this was in a city situation, and you're just like, man, there had to have been a better way for things to go than this. Mm-hmm. But they chose the path that involved like the lowest amount of human casualties.
Right.
So to the entire rest of the world, nothing happened at all, really.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because the way it's framed by being like on the front lines with Gon and the other main characters, it feels like they're fighting for their life, and like it's a world-ending event, and then the world kind of never actually knows what truly went down.
Right.
Like it was just another day for them. Mm-hmm. And like the last like 30 episodes, it's like an hour of real time, which is insane.
There's like 4 episodes in a row where they're like, it has been 10 seconds since the battle began.
Like, it gets a bit much like
fucking 10 seconds.
Like obviously, it felt like the first time I've ever truly watched a manga adaptation, because the thing about manga is it goes as fast as you read it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where you can have a character running and then just put a block of text next to them, and then it doesn't matter how long that is because all manga is like still images. But then in this show, like they have to narrate and read out that huge block of text while a character is basically in freeze frame. So that's how you get an episode that passes about 2 seconds.
Right.
Because it's jumping between 30 different characters.
Gotcha.
They all have their own.
Yeah.
They all have their own big blocks of text.
Yeah, it gets a bit excessive at the point, but like the final payoff to that arc was just so unbelievably satisfying. And then it's not the last arc of the show, which was really wild. Because then there's another little 12-episode arc to kind of resolve as much as they can of the whole overall plot. And that arc is also kind of not good. It's so weird. Hunter x Hunter is so weird.
That is so weird.
Because then that arc...
It's just shonen show where there are these completely disconnected arcs, which is common in shonen. But for us, it's really weird because we expect them to have like a continuous plot and shit. So it's just like, here's my new thing I'm going to do.
The gear shift out of Chimera Ant was like extremely rough because you've been watching that one show that is longer than like the original Full Metal Alchemist, and then having it go to now Hunter election arc and all these characters from earlier in the show are just back now, and then they do really silly things like character that just grants wishes. And just like, oh, okay, like you were taking this seriously to a point, and now that's all gone.
It gets very silly. And then the manga has kept going for the last 10 years since.
With like one chapter a year or something. But yeah, I just wanted to say how Chimera Ant emotionally destroyed me, and I just so caught off guard.
Go watch Sensekai Yori as well.
Yeah, basically go watch that again. But that didn't have a bunch of really good fights in the middle as well.
That's a good point.
I feel like 2011 is a pretty dry as like an adaptation, but I think the the strength of the stories still comes through. I still had a very good time watching it.
Because I think the York New arc, which is a name I completely hate forever, that one has a lot of
York
thematics. It has a lot of thematic similarities to Chimera Ant, but they just didn't quite get there all the way. And I feel like Chimera Ant is the one where it's like, okay, this is just a full, complete story on its own. Like, you could actually kind of just watch this one by itself. You will just be crying a bunch at the end and then have to just stop in the middle and not quite get 100% payoff, but it is what it is. It is a very good story. I think
Phantom Troop arc is the one that other people are like, that one's my favorite. And I'm like, I get it. The action is extremely fun, and it's denser with action than, like, in some ways it's denser than Chimera Ant. But it doesn't have that, like, big emotional payoff, because I was never, like, as invested in, like, Kurapika's revenge as I was in the character journeys and
there's two huge emotional moments at the end of Chimera Ant, which I just don't think, like you said, they don't go for that kind of make you cry catharsis before that point, and they totally land two of them.
Yeah, York New is like Death Note, where you're just watching, like, these absolutely insane kind of mind game shit, and it's exhilarating. It's a really fun roller coaster. But Chimera Ant was the first time where they just, like, fucking, like, I think it was like, oh wow, 120 episodes in and you got me to cry.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Like, I think Chimera Ant just felt like it had more to say about conflict and the human state and war and shit. Whereas York New was just kind of a fun roller coaster.
Yeah, everything up until that, I was just like, oh, this is you are very good at, you already have written a bunch of shonen, you know this stuff backwards and forwards. This is your playground to just mess around with tropes and delight people. And
that's the thing I didn't know until, like, towards the end that this was from the author of Yu Yu Hakusho as well. Like, I thought everybody gets one. You get one big shonen and then you do something obscure and then, oh, he got two, huh?
Two.
That's probably why they adapted it as an anime, like, immediately. But then ran out of material twice.
And then, like, Yu Yu Hakusho, as I understand it, has a bunch of tournament arcs, has a bunch of, like, normal punching.
I mean,
sounds real good.
This makes sense as, like, a subversion of the standard stuff in that way.
The Umineko to Higurashi.
In that way, and how much this fucked me up for a few days, yes.
It's actually, I think Chimera, I was actually surprised because I was always a little bit on edge, because I was like, if he doesn't like Hunter x Hunter at the end, I'll feel a little guilty, because it was 150 eps and I kind of got him to try it.
Again, the only time I really was like, what the fuck was Greed Island? Greed Island fucking sucked, I'm sorry.
That also hit you really rough because you're coming off of 99, and that was your first exposure to 11 was Greed Island. Cecile watched the Digipaint OVA version of Greed Island.
Which also seems like a rough,
did not like it. Also didn't have a good time.
But that one, for whatever reason, is like 5 episodes longer. Like, I can't imagine.
Oh, God.
I don't know how you take that and make it 17 episodes. I think it's 17. Maybe it's...
Cecile got me to watch the 98 pilot episode. They were making an anime. They already had an episode of anime in 98 for Hunter x Hunter. It, like, was shipped on VHS with Shonen Jump subscribers or something.
That's crazy.
And it's the first episode again, and it has a completely unique monster fight, and it honestly kicked ass. It honestly ruled.
Well, why don't you just watch some more 99 then?
I could just watch more 99, yeah.
I think that is the problem when it's like, but you know the story by that point. Like, the story is the same.
It's not the same as the opening to 99, just to be clear. It's
no, right. The 98 is original, but I'm saying if you rewatch 99, like, you know where it's all going.
Yeah, but that there's so much craft in 99. Like, every clip I saw is just
so pretty.
No, I can absolutely just imagine, like, 2 or 3 years just being like, I kind of feel like going back to Hunter x Hunter. Let's watch 99 now.
Yeah, but not right now. It's definitely too soon right now.
Oh no, it's way too soon right now.
Yeah,
so I think Chimera, like, Umineko hit me Harder, y'all said. I think Chimera Ant hit you harder than it hit me, and it hit me pretty hard. And that was so fun to watch. That was so nice.
That last moment, like with them, I was just like, I couldn't. And then people in the comments like, can't believe you're all crying over a mass murder dying.
Fuck, it's a good show. It's a good story.
It's a good story. That's what shocked me the most, is where like the whole time it was like, this is chaos and ideas being thrown at a wall, and then crafting a good story in the middle of that.
I mean, that is the fun thing. The Chimera Ants are just like, he made a monster where the monster can be literally whatever he wants. There's no like consistent design for the ants because they all have like completely different appearances and abilities based on a variety of things. So it gets to, it's instead of being, it's kind of like Attack on Titan, but every single Titan is its own wild shonen boss fight with its own JoJo stand and shit. So it's just, it gets to be like extremely delightful in that same kind of roller coaster way, while also having just a good story.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think just in general, I'm less afraid of really long anime at this point, probably because I've watched like every 12 episode show that I want to.
You're out.
It's just kind of like, I need something bigger to get me excited now.
Bigger.
We also ran out of RPGs.
Because I've run out of long RPGs, where it's like I'm kind of craving the long form investment, which is why I was like, I'll give Hunter x Hunter a shot. And if it starts to suck, I'll drop it, but I can go for the whole thing. Yeah. And like, I'm planning on watching a Pretty Cure season soon.
Yes.
And those are like 50 episodes.
Are you sticking with Heartcatch for the first one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Heartcatch because that's the one. Polly will know this as the one that has the character designer from Casher and Sins.
Right. Yeah.
That's always been like the one for Pretty Cure, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like it still has the highest score on my anime list. It has people just saying it's the one with the most drama that lands for people. Which seems like more up my alley than, hey, this one's got a lot of funny faces, even though Heartcatch also seems like it has a lot of funny faces.
It has very good drama. The episodic stuff there's a lot of episodic stuff, but then also like comes back, like all the it's not like Sailor Moon filler characters where they're immediately discarded forever when the episode ends. It's interweaved throughout the show in a classy way.
Cool.
And Dark Precure is so cool. Also, Heartcatch has an extremely good first 2 minutes. So whenever you start it, you're
weird. I have not looked at it whatsoever yet.
It's just gonna be. I have the whole thing. It's nowhere, so I had to torrent the whole thing. So if you ever need assistance with that, I've still got it on the hard drive.
Okay.
Cool.
But then
that's it.
I know the way you talk about the original Precure though, and being like, hey, this one's hand animated and she punch. And I do remember, she punch.
She punch. They don't punch as much in the later Precure. The first Precure is like, what if we made one of these, but she punch? So that's probably one I want to watch.
I feel like Precure has gone from like a kid's show to like an infant show or something, where it's like just looking at
regression.
Those neon pastel designs they use now. It's just like, oh my god, this is like a blinding rainbow of just sugar.
Like YouTube AI generated stuff.
All
right, that's very mean. I'm sorry. Precure.
I mean, it's just funny that I'm watching it. So there's this 8:30 a.m. block of anime that's been running for like 40 years, and then the last 20 of it has been Precure.
And you're finishing up Nadja from the one before that.
I'm watching the 2003 show, Tomorrow's Nadja, which is the show that like yielded it to Precure for the next 20 years. And probably will not ever at this rate. It's just funny looking at the list of shows that are there in this block, and it's all these like originals and like interesting things, and then Pretty Cure season 2, Pretty Cure season 3, Pretty Cure 5, Pretty Cure 5 season 2, and then like a whole bunch of 50 episode one-offs.
Yeah, if you want that long form investment, you can do all the Precure, start to finish.
I think there's something wrong with people that have watched all of it.
Because people do. Oh my god, you go onto like Reddits and you see like oh yeah, here's my tier list, and it's TV shows, and I'm like, no.
It's 20 shows, and like at least probably like half of them have like a 6 on my anime list, and like nothing has over a 7. Like I think Heartcatch has like 7.8, and that's the highest one.
It is so fucking good. You're still gonna have like minute and a half long animations they do every episode. You're probably gonna be like, oh, let's just fast forward a little bit. Just
you know what, they do that in Naja as well. Like she has dance sequences that for no reason they just pad the episode out a little bit.
Just save us a little bit of money. Save us a little bit of money.
And then, but like I'll mock them and be like, oh, she's doing the dance again, and then they'll do it in a way in one episode where it's like, oh, now she's doing it, and I'm crying. God damn it.
That's how they do it. Is they do it every episode, and then they do it in a way that fucks you up. It's great.
That's good.
I feel like I need like one good magical girl adjacent thing for 8-year-olds every 2 years. I think that's about how much what I crave. So I'm actually coming up on needing one soon.
What was that show before Naja? The one you showed me, like the mermaid designs, Doremi?
Doremi. It just looks really adorable.
I think that's the one where I go, okay, I want to watch something for teenagers. Like, I want to watch shoujo, not something for like children.
Okay,
like those designs go too far for me. Where it's like, oh god, this is like just very, very like preschool.
Well, that's the thing. Is like there's zero otaku poison at all. Like you watch something like Nanoha, and there's like,
oh, Nanoha definitely for sure.
This is not actually for kids, which is a little bit. And then just Precure, or I watched the Tangled show was the other one, and it's like, oh, this is just a nice.
Like Precure is definitely for kids, but it has that anime look.
God, Precure looks so good. Oh my god, it's kind of like a special look. It's weird looking at all other Precure because none of the others look like it.
The original?
No, the Heartcatch. Heartcatch has its own look. Right. Like all the other ones, I was like looking at the footage and like. This looks more like a normal anime. Heartcatch is just like
because of those character designs.
Yeah, it's got those character designs.
That really is the in for me. It's like, oh, this does look interesting, and it looks like a show I really loved.
So I was pointing out, Nanoha is an eroge spinoff, and I'm like, yeah.
The eroge poison is at its core.
Yes. Cool. All right. Anything else kind of on your brain, Rhett?
I played Yakuza. I freaking called it Yakuza. God damn it. I didn't mean to do that. I played Like a Dragon Ishin.
Mm-hmm. The new Yakuza game, right?
The new Yakuza game. Okay. Listen, I'm annoyed that they're changing it because Yakuza just rolls off the tongue easier.
Sure, yeah.
Like a Dragon is bad. I'm sorry.
It's not. Yeah, I don't like it.
Because people like acronyms. Like people like, shortening the names of things.
Lad Ishin. Oh, that sounds great.
It's not good. It's like I almost wonder if they should have just called it Dragon-like or something, or like Dragon-esque. Like a dragon is just kind of a little clumsy.
It's like a dragon.
Because that is like a super literal translation of what the games have always been called in Japanese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't really work for me. But I get that they have to do that because the games aren't about Yakuza anymore.
They should have just called it Biohazard. just to like really fuck with people. It's not Resident Evil. It's not even by Capcom, but they just call it Biohazard.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Biohazard Ishin.
Biohazard: Mother 4. The new game in the Yakuza series.
Basically, my thought with that game is that, oh no, Elden Ring has poisoned combat for me because it was so good.
I mean, you already didn't really love the fighting in the first RPG one, right?
Well, I mean, this isn't an RPG, though.
Oh my god!
That's the other thing. Is that the game called Yakuza Like a Dragon that was released in Japan as the 7th one is the only RPG so far.
Yeah.
So they called it here Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then they announced like 3 more games that are just called Like a Dragon : something, and they're all action games.
Oh my god, I thought one of them was an RPG.
Actually, I think there's oh my god, I almost said Yakuza again. there's Like a Dragon Ishin, which is set in like 1867 Japan, and it's an action game.
I hate it.
Then there's Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name, which is a spin-off with Kiryu again, and it's an action game. And then I don't know what they're calling 8 here, but it's Like a Dragon 8 or something. And that's going to be an RPG.
Okay. Fuck, that's funny.
Yeah, I think you're probably
8.
right. Lad 8. I think you're right in that
lactate.
if they had kept Like a Dragon for the RPGs, that would have been way clearer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do want some sort of brand unity. It's just kind of messy, especially as those games kind of gain in popularity. Because I think Yakuza 0 was the big watershed moment, and I think 7 did really well as well. But now people are going to be like, oh, wait, this one's an action game now. Even though for Ishin, they added a whole bunch of modern RPG stuff into this remaster. Like there's damage numbers on by default, which the action games have not done before. I turned them off before ever seeing them, so it felt more like the old ones.
Hey, Rat, they could have just kept calling it Yakuza.
They probably should have. Even if there's no Yakuza in this one,
they could have just kept doing that. Other games have done that. They're not. You're not going into a mansion in the new Resident Evil. It's fine.
But then you did in 7. You did in 7.
Did in 7, yeah.
But basically, playing a game with the katana, and I'm just like, oh no, this feels like Sekiro, but like it doesn't actually feel like Sekiro. Those games felt good to play.
Ruined by FromSoft.
Ruined by From Software, and they're very good action games. Okay, I'm done.
Ruined in the butt by FromSoft.
I got recommended like an Elden Ring video on YouTube, and the desire to just reinstall and play that game again is so fucking strong, you guys.
That's nuts.
And then like they do some teleport skip to get to a place early on to get an item, and I'm just like, I don't even know where you are. How big is this game? That game is so good.
That's a game.
That game is so good. Oh, okay, Polly, before the show we were talking, I was going to say how I wanted to start the episode.
Yeah, you are literally 2 hours late.
Okay. I was going to say, if we needed something to start the episode, I was going to say, last time on the Sockscast, I destroyed everything by revealing my game of the year.
Yeah.
And then the way that went was, I was so hyper-fixated on the listener lists that I did not think about what to say about any of the games on my actual list. So in particular, we got to my game of the year, and I just completely fucking froze up. I was just tired from podcasting for like 7 hours.
For 7 hours.
Had not thought about what to say, and was just like, yeah, this is a good game.
Hey, do you know, now you know what it feels like to have a bit that you are really wanting to do, and you're not quite sure how it's going to land, and then the moment comes, so to speak, and you've got to put it out there and hope for the best.
I also did have a bit there that I meant that I aborted. No, the bit was that I was going to say my game of the year is Ring Fit.
Yeah.
And then at least I had the sense to not roll with that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. That would have been a Travis bit.
The other thing that I was thinking about after that podcast is how, like, not preparing what to say about any of the games. Like, my Elden Ring talk was, like, unhinged as well. Where I started talking about how the NPCs leave the hub area, and that made me sad, and that made it a good game. And I'm like, even as I'm saying it, I'm like, the fuck you saying, dude?
What are you doing? What is happening? I have lost the plot. Podcasting makes you insane.
But not as insane as Umiyako.
Not as insane as Umiyako. Goddamn!
That's an episode.
You could not have had like that. Sometimes the show just tells you when it's over, and that's it.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it. John, tell the people at home where they can find you.
Farawaytimes.itch.io. You can also check out my slightly viral blog post on how to make good small games. It got a bunch of nice attention. It's kind of it's like a 6K word manifesto.
All of my games got some traffic
proud
from, except Synchronize.
Oh no.
The one game that I released this year, every fucking game got downloads, and I think that like they got like 20 or 30 downloads, and I think Synchronize got like 1. It's okay, nobody likes that game.
So that's me. Rhett, you've got your great website, right? It's very finished, right?
Yeah.
It's very I think it's rhett.itch.io. Yep, that looks
the
right.
one.
That's definitely
that's got every one of your games, right?
No, it has a lot of them, but
It's got games about me.
Remember when I
does have
bullied you,
the
Polly,
Polly
into putting
collection.
I bullied Polly into putting like the Flappy Bird one and Polly Mario Brothers on her itch.
Yeah.
you can go to Polly's and play Junkyard Dave Eats a Lot of Shrimp.
It's a fun game. It's
Well,
very... I like those naming conventions with my games now where it's just what, the title is what you do in the game. Luigi floating on an egg over the sea. Mm-hmm. Junkyard Dave eats a lot of shrimp. Like, it's just a real good naming convention, I think.
I ate a bunch of shrimp in another world.
Yeah. That would be fun. I could do that. I'd eat shrimp in goddamn nearly any world, honestly.
I wonder what shrimp are like in the Konosuba universe.
They'd probably...
you know how the food is different?
Yeah. Anyway, you can find me.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
what day do you think your blog post came out, John?
What day do I think it came out? It came out on February 27th.
Okay. Because for whatever reason, it does look like I got a bump on the 3rd.
I linked Super Zalixer. If it was Super Zalixer, that'd be it.
There actually is like a pretty big update. I'm looking at the stats for the first time. Not quite as much as Polly, but I did get like 12 views on one day.
Nice.
I'm curious about how the one at the top, because that's actually one of the ones that's not by a friend. So they're just like, wait, what?
Where's this coming from? And I'm at twitch.tv/polyplushie. That's where you can find me, and I do stuff there sometimes. I might.
Oh, that URL is different now.
It is different now. It's like 2 years into being a VTuber, I decided to finally rebrand my channel because I was like, wait, that's a thing you can do on Twitch. How did I not know that? I'm just so used to getting a name and being like, that's what you're stuck with, asshole.
That's how websites used to be.
You're Goku 420. Fucking deal with it.
Chronomaniac forever.
I was going to say Chronomaniac.
Chronomaniac's really good.
I nailed it on the first time.
You did.
5-letter name.
Got it.
Perfect.
Just nailed it.
Perfect.
Holy shit, right?
That'll do it for us. We're going to get on out of here. We'll be back sometime, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll
figure it out.
see.
We're the podcast that loves you, though. We are the only ones that love you.
Bye.
All right. I don't know. Nobody I know is streaming, so I think I'm gonna just no wait. Gremlins are us is streaming. She is playing Sukuna of Rice and Ruin. So I'm gonna throw y'all on over there. I'm gonna say hi to Grimmy Grims, and I'll see you when I see you. I don't know. I don't feel like streaming lately. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Later, y'all. How are there 12 people in this raid? Jesus Christ.